hello everyone, welcome to a belated Diane Actually Writes this evening. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We had to go and look at a couple of trailers kind of right in the middle of when I was supposed to do my stream, so we did not do that. So we're a little later today. Hello everybody. Hello Siobhan. James is not the first in the chat. James should be in bed. I hope James is in bed. Hello, Fantasine. Good to see you. It's good timing for sure. I think about, I should see if anyone's on Twitch, and then I start my stream. Convenient. It works out. Right. Thank you for the raid, Kahuna. Awesome. Looking forward to all the new books that are going to be read on Kahuna Reads. I'm very excited about it, actually. So that's going to be good. Yes, hello, Gwen. Good to see you. Hello, Daz. Always a pleasure. Darth is here. The problem is Darth isn't, I don't know if Darth is lurking earlier in the day, but I'm usually like, I think I'm up on too early for him, so. But good to see you, hon. And hello, Rowan. Yeah, hello, Moon. Hello, Masadis. Good to see you. How's it going, Misa? Oh, and thank you for all the posture checks and save checks and hail hydrates. Hail hydrate, Barbarossa. Hello, Eli. Closet Porch says, yeah, I've been sleeping through some of your streams lately, this morning, or lately. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I think I may have sold one of your books of shorts this morning. Oh, that's Siobhan. Are you talking about Gunsmoke and Dragonfire? That's cool. Thanks for, spreading the word. That's awesome. Huh. How was the house thing? It was okay. Nothing was solidified. Got some options available. We're probably, we're looking into both renting and buying at this point. The boys go tomorrow to see if they can, get pre-approval for a mortgage, and we might end up buying a trailer, which would be, then I would own something, and that would be nice. So yeah, I can't. My credit's crap because of the failure of my store. So, but hey, I have money to contribute, so they buy the house, then they put my name on the deed. There we go. Well, thanks, guys. Tomorrow there's a couple things that might bear fruit. We have an appointment to look at a place to rent. It requires a 1-year lease, which is kind of inconvenient if we end up buying a trailer. But then, hey, the rental market here, is really hot right now, so maybe we'll just rent the trailer for the income for the mortgage. And then, there's another place that they didn't want to hear from us until tomorrow because the person who owns the house is going for surgery. That's probably a shoo-in if we can get a hold of her, because it's a month-to-month rental, and that might actually just work out fine if we're going to buy anyway, stay there for, maybe the winter, and then move into a new house. So, this could be a silver lining, guys. So we'll see. As you can see, I'm starting to pack up my room now, right? So expect the background to change considerably over the next few days. I will probably take out that shelf in the back and probably the books, I imagine. So yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the hopes and wishes and stuff. Okay, so today I am not doing, you're going to see nothing on the screen because I'm doing secret book stuff. So that is what I'm going to be working on. What are you guys going to be working on today? I'm currently doing things like the setup for the pre-order for my book. So dun dun dun, yeah, that's right. So it's all behind the scenes stuff, and it kind of has to take priority, so you're not going to see what I'm up to, but which means I'm going to have to put something else probably on the sprint screen, right? Yes, secret book stuff. That's right. I love the spelling. That's great. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Maybe I will actually put my background up here. What I'm going to be working on, RP meta needs typed clickety-clack. Okay. Eli's going to be planning and plotting for November. Hey, Stretch, how's it going? Good to see you tonight. Heating up dinner, then eating dinner. Panic typing! Okay. Why are we panic typing? Why is it a panic? I'm worried about you now. Not long in from work. Yeah, I imagine, eh? I hope work went well today. Those are filthy. I took a picture of the fire. We drove by it today on our way to Falkland. The road was closed until recently, but the fire's been really calmed down now. It's, you know, it's still not the, I don't know, it's not like flames shooting in the air like you've seen on the news anymore. It's like trails of smoke running down the mountain right in the middle of the trees. So still not great and still not good that it can be seen from the road, right? Bar was quiet. That's good. Oh, I started something without realizing my meta documents were in my head, not on the world. Yeah, smoldering plumes. It's like the fires running down the ravines on the mountain, the same places that the, you know, river, the spring runoff goes. Right? The fires seem to be following that pattern. And its leading edge is like, I don't know how the local Okanagan Indian band is ever going to recover, because I think half their shit got burnt. You know, like, it's just, yeah. I'm waiting for Chris to be available to chat in about an hour and a half. Awesome. Would you guys like a background to look at? Should I put my star field up here, guys, so that you have something to watch? Or do you care if I have, like, black screen? Should I put, like, text that says secret book stuff? I'm totally gonna do that, actually. Totally, that's what I'm doing. Just a second here. I gotta find... Okay. We're gonna add it. Oh my god! I have to read that! Eli, that is fucking great! Did I tell you about my November project? No, you did not. Right? It says, and then they say it's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland meets Spaghetti Westerns. Holy shit, is that ever my thing. I cannot wait to check that out. Clearly, I'm going to have to do Gunsmoke and Dragonfire too. And you're going to have to write me a story in that world so that I can put it in the anthology, because that is great. And Ricardo Victoria also wrote other stories in that same universe that he wrote the story for Gunsmoke and Dragonfire 1. And then there's that story that Author Goddess had that I rejected for the first one, but it was like, and she never let me forget it either, but but it was like by the skin of my teeth. And there were two other stories that I had already accepted that were very similar. So what in the hell is wrong with my stupid overlay here? Just a second. Let's try this again. Okay, 1 minute. You know what? I'm going to... Okay, first we're going to put in secret book stuff, because that's funny. I can be a beta? Okay, I'll take it. Okay. It's good enough, I think. I think that's hilarious. Okay, there we go. That would be awesome. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm very excited. This is good. Okay, I cannot wait to read your thing. Okay, so we're gonna go first to Stream Elements, and we're gonna fix that damn overlay, because I'm tired of it being a bum. And then we're gonna actually do the secret book stuff. Well, cool, we have plotting, we have people writing meta articles, this is good. Okay, here. Oh, this isn't the one I want. The hell? Okay. Okay, and that clearly isn't the one I want either. Is that the one I want? Yes, there we go. There, now we're working properly. Okay, oh, Misa's off. I busted out all the words and now have a headache. Fair enough, fair enough. You guys enjoy the rest of the stream. See you later, hon. Rowan says, just finishing a Mel journal entry and hopefully this week without Mel running my brain pan, some Pensig 199 AD can get worked on. Yes. Oh, hello, Mooncloud. Good to see you. We are doing secret book stuff today. And what are you working on today there, Mooncloud, or are you just hanging out? I'm glad you like my silly spelling. It's hilarious. Never take yourself too seriously. Life is no fun if you take yourself too seriously. I see, says Mooncloud, so you could show us, but then you would have to track us down and kill us, yep. Or just get blackout drunk so we forget. Legit. Turning my D&D campaign setting into my own RPG system. Excellent, Mooncloud. That's great. But you've been working on that for a while, right? Dad says, my dog is pouting. He stole a dry erase black marker, and I stole it back before he broke it open and got the cap off. Because erase and black were next to each other is why it got flagged. And as we know, there have been racist douchebags doing racist douchebag things lately. That's why. On and off for a couple of weeks, says Mooncloud. The day job, well, night job in my case tends to intrude. Yep. Yep. Chris can be quite devious. It was funny. He played a good joke on our characters the other night. Yes, they will, Mooncloud. Yeah, unfortunately, they're starting to do more aggressive shit like follow bots that spam really offensive, hateful shit. Right, so we're gonna keep an eye out for that. Incidentally, by the way, if something like that happens, and I think I'm gonna make this kind of a standard procedure for the next little while until Twitch actually gets its fucking shit together and does something about these crap assholes, right? I have a list of known bots another streamer made. Great. If you wouldn't mind sharing that in, oh, let's see, put that in links and memes in my Discord. 100 VIP badges you can hand out. Is that how that works? You get the VIP badges and then you can decide who can talk? Because Siobhan had to put her chat sub only in order to protect herself against the follow bots, right? So, I mean, that's really unfortunate. Her moderators can talk, apparently, but, you know. I was saying, please put that, the link for the known bots can be helpful, and if you would put it in links and memes in my Discord, that would be great. Incidentally, the chat, the plan is, if we end up with one of these people showing up creating problems, I will shut down the chat, and I will change it to sub only, and then Mooncloud, please put it in links and memes in my Discord. If you put it there, I will just lose it. I'll fire it up, and then I'll either have to leave it on the tab army that stays for 1,000 years, or I'll never find it again, right? Thanks. So, there's my Discord, right? If, like I say, if these guys show up, we'll put the chat to sub only. Go to my Discord, we'll continue the conversation there. I will read out whatever is said. And, you know, we'll treat it just like Twitch chat. No problem. Yeah, 200 people talking at once. Oh! Oh, because of all the follow bots. That's hilarious. Oh, well, that's funny as hell. I'm very amused at the fact that the scumbag unknowingly advanced your Twitcher career. Cheers! That's excellent. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Love it. Love it. Thank you very much. Perfect, Moon. That's great. Okay. I've done nothing in the sprint, and I said that I was going to do secret book stuff, so let's do that. I gotta get this done. Oh, at least the edit of the basic manuscript is finally done. Good God. It took me forever. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Well, yeah, this works just fine, don't it? You know what I'm finding is because I set up a bunch of stuff on my World Anvil site first, that doing a lot of the setup here for the book is really, because I've done it already. I had to come up with descriptions and everything, so it's simple, which is great. I will go bold underline. We'll go heading 4. That works. And that's the sprint. Alright, we'll start with that. Now, back to chat. Mooncloud says, in channels that I DM for, I am known for banning bots right out of the viewer list as I enter. Or that you mod for. Just finished my D&D session. I may have done that once or twice myself. Just saying. Eli says, I'll drink to that. I assume that was in response to, cheers, congratulations on bot assholes advancing Siobhan's Twitcher career. That's great. Yeah. Eli says, the problem with me trying to plot and plan is that I am terrible at planning and plotting. I'm a pantser in my bones. Oh, well, at this point, I'm mostly making a beats list. Well, why are you plotting if you don't want to plot? That's what just make yourself some notes, right? Or, here's what I do, right? I make myself a playlist, and I do it like an opera, right? I pick a song to represent every major beat in the story, and I mix it up and rearrange it as things occur to me. Right? So, yeah. My plan for November is major rewrite of Book 3. So, because I have, I know what needs to be done with it now. I just gotta do it. So. It's gonna be a fat fucking book, though, I'm telling you, right? Like, okay, so, how many words is it already? It's not done yet. I'm gonna look at it. Okay, I don't need this open anymore, I don't think. Oh, I might want it for keywords. Okay, so, alright, just a second, I'll leave that, but, okay. Manuscripts. Yes. Okay, so it's 174,000 words, and it is, yeah, 39 chapters, and it's not done yet. My estimation, once I've done the initial draft, is about 250,000 words. Maybe 230. That's too much. But that's the story, I think. I don't know how I'm gonna cut that, but I'll do a chainsaw pass, of course. I always do. Daz says, that's why I so love having been a DM for so long. All you do is make plot points and then adjust them as the characters, which you don't control, make you find ways to work around their sideways moves and warp a way to let the plot points happen, even if not on your turns. So editing will be in for Game of Tones? Yes. Yes, I think it will. There's a lot of rebels, right? That's the get back to work growl, by the way. Holy crap, Sable, we keep getting a steady trickle of likes for the backstory. I hope it leads to more interest in your world. I'm sure it will. Split it in a thick boy, says Eli. Yeah. Split it into 2 books, says Daz. More content, says Eli. Okay, the problem is the book has already been split into 2 books. This was originally supposed to be book 2, but then I realized that there were kind of 2 different stories going on, so I divided them where the story naturally divided, and I don't know, it might change in the rewrite, right? Because, yeah, no, this is why it's a saga, okay? I'm not as bad as Siobhan, though. You gotta give me that. Got 2 already, so now we need 3 books. Yeah. So it's now 2 and 3 with number 4 later. Yeah, maybe. It might be that. Yeah. I'm going to start posting book 2 in its sort of semi-draft form here pretty quick for my patrons. I know I said I would post the story in between last week, right? But, yeah, but I'm going to post the... I'm going to start posting book 2 with a placeholder cover. I have the cover design. It's going to be coming soon, but yeah, because it's basically ready. Book 2. I you know, I'm kind of doing. Yeah, it's almost ready. I'm kind of doing developmental edits. I think a little bit, but not much, right? Book 3 is a mess. But that's okay, we'll get there. Yeah. What did I do? Right? Like, vast sagas of ridiculous numbers of words? Yeah, you and I both. Okay, but come on, we have some patrons in the chat. Tell me, did I waste any words in book 1? Was there anything in there that did not absolutely have to be in there to tell the story? I don't think there was. Right? It's just a big story. Cool. Daz agrees. Alright. Cool. I'm glad you liked it. I'm really glad. Okay. Speaking of more secret book stuff, back to work. Back to work. Okay. Do I? That's silly. Alright. 119 views and 10 likes. Nice. Oh, nice there, Stretch. Just picked up the D&D 5e Player's Handbook for just $12.03 on D&D Beyond. Really? Ebook, right? And it has not been showcased anywhere, says Daz. I like your character. It's just a creative. I'm looking forward to writing that story that I've been commissioned to write. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited about it, actually. Stretch says, yeah, site-only stuff, but that's worth it. I already own some of the content, plus they're running a 20% off deal right now. Okay. Well, like D&D Beyond, if you've already purchased part of a source book, etc., they take that off the total price. Oh, that's nice. Did nothing save here? What the fuck? Okay. Hey Jennifer, good to see you. How you doing? I appear to be on at a good time for you for a change. I'm doing secret book stuff. Siobhan took her stream back last night. Woot. Excellent. Sparkles made you do it. Good for Sparkles. Yes. Making notes and thinking, says Eli. I don't think Lewis Carroll realized you can have a period in the middle of a paragraph. Several of them, even. But if you note, that's the style of the time. A lot of those early 20th century period books are very much like that. You read Lovecraft, it's the same, right? I once literally, there was a sentence that literally went on for 3 pages. That was the style of good writing at the time, right? So, see, it just goes to show you that often what we consider to be good writing is really fads that last for a few years, you know? Yeah, I know, but Lord. Yeah, I hear you. And that's the sprint. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Oh, okay. Yeah, but same thing. I suddenly feel less bad about my sentences as Rowan, who also said that Pensick 199 AD, who's going to end up in the same boat. Yeah, it looks like. Gonna have to update this grammar, if nothing else. Grammar. Yeah, I doubt my editor will let me get away with this. Nope. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, the? Yeah, exactly. But could have been a typo. It's okay. Dyslexic moment, you know. Stretch says, well, this is weird. I had the stream up on my big TV through my Xbox and writing in chat on computer. Due to graphics error, I can't see video on computer. My last message shows up on my computer, but not the Xbox stream. That's bizarre. Lort is early internet speak. Get off of my lawn. Yeah. Dad says I'm rewriting my rewrite edit of my story I wrote during Nano. I'm rewriting my rewrite. I can relate to that. Learned a few things since I started, which means going back and fixing the fixes. I know, right? You know, I was still correcting grammar in the last go-through on A Few Good Elves. Still. Right? And I had an edit, and I trust my editor. It's just that, you know, since then, Word has added some new features, and I ran that through. So every time I came to one of those situations, I thought, am I deliberately breaking the grammar rules here? You know, because sometimes I do, right? Because, okay, for one thing, people do not speak with proper grammar. So my opinion is that if it's in quotation marks, grammar rules don't have to apply. I don't care, right? Second thing is that sometimes the context, like the computer isn't as smart as it thinks it is, right? You know, sometimes you need a comma for break or breath. Sometimes you need a comma to, you know, because the ideas actually are separate, but the computer doesn't recognize that they are, you know, stuff like that. But many still have grammar mistakes. No manuscript is perfect. Yeah, some of them are deliberate too. Some of them are probably not deliberate. Probably some of them I missed words and things. It's inevitable. Yeah. At least I was not that far in, says Daz. Yeah. Stretch says, oh, I tried my first ever cappuccino today. Quite liked it. Cappuccinos are good. I like cappuccinos. I'm a coffee addict, so, you know. Moon says, I have an awesome new beast of a computer my wife bought me. Awesome! That's great! Watching Sable while lurking in 4 other streams and a YouTube channel while playing a game. Well, that sounds like my ADHD life and bonus. Sometimes, you know what? When I'll put on people's streams, and when they're doing like sprint lobbies and stuff, or long sprints, I'll put on another stream, right? Like, or a YouTube video with talking, you know, and then I'll, you know, pause things or turn them off, or, you know, mute them or whatever, depending on when, you know, when they start talking again. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm sure I have grammar errors. I don't care. That's me not caring. Yes, you really should start streaming again, Mooncloud, now that you have this awesome beast of a computer. Sounds like a good plan. I would watch. I'm having trouble thinking about the keywords for my book. I mean, for a change, the categories were easy. that's like not usual for me. What categories do you fall in? Well, okay, let's look up what's available. Alright, yeah, so science fiction, space opera, and fantasy epic. There you go. You can only have 2. Those are my categories, okay? Keywords. So far I've got science fantasy and military science fiction. I suppose I could include black powder fantasy. That's a good one. My problem is I have, and that's the back to work growl, by the way, from the Dragon of Productivity, who demands sacrifices of words and effort. Siobhan says, my problem is I have sentence fragments. Yep. I'm going to have to research Wild West type rabbits, aren't I? Says Eli. Go with Jackrabbit. Oh, sure. Make my life easy. Yeah, Jackrabbit's, yeah, the most Western of bunnies. Yep. Yeah. I have sanity fragments. And that's all that's in. Freedoms of sanity! Okay, yeah. Things that go through my brain. Stretch is upping the protein in his diet this week. Been having 5 rashers of bacon and 2 fried eggs for breakfast. Now my legs don't ache after my shift. Why the hell didn't I try this earlier? You know what I used to do is I used to get some of those, like, you know, they're supposed to be healthy for you drinks, and I'd get the ones with creatine, and I would do that after working like a weight training workout because that's the kind of protein it restores, right? So, and yeah, up the protein when you're working hard too. You guys have sanity, says Eli? Occasionally, yeah. Moonlit Cloud says every now and then they manage to pop up at the most inconvenient times, the fragments of sanity. Oh, just a moment here. The hubby is at the door. I'm going to take a break anyway. I will be right back. I think I changed the... Yeah. Oh, okay. I got to fix the text here just a second. There we go. Okay, see you guys in a moment. All right, I'm sorry, I'm back. I had to go to the downtime screen because you guys always are talking about food when I come in, and I thought that I would show you and get revenge. I have this amazing barbecued burger that my hubby made for me. So, ha! Food fight. Yep, so. Mm. It is yummy. It's very good. That sounds good too. Scallops and creamy garlic butter sauce. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, Stetson is a company that makes cowboy style hats. A 10-gallon hat is the one with the big, tall cowboy bit. I'm coming over to your place, says Rowan. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, so yeah, Stetson is probably the most popular brand that makes cowboy hats. And they make various size cowboy hats. Yeah. When is dinner? Mm. Hmm. Day-old teriyaki fried rice is awesome. I agree completely, Gwen. Okay, I'm gonna eat the rest of this off screen because it's messy, but I figured vengeance is mine. I'll go back to the sprint screen, and I'm probably gonna blank out my camera here while I am chewing. What did I miss while I was gone? A lot, apparently. Okay. Moon is not interested in seeing Siobhan's sanity fragments. Oh, I left my pot in the other room. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Seems to me that adult beverage is supposed to bring this. Alright, they've still it. I am back. My cat. This is my old guy. He was a rescue from behind a restaurant, fast food restaurant is where he was straying. So to this day, he likes French fries and burgers. I shit you not. All right, so Mr. Twinkle says, I have Sanity on a CD. Gwen points out to Eli it was a white rabbit in Alice, which means it wasn't a wild rabbit, because European wild rabbits aren't white, only the tame variety. If that helps. If it doesn't, ignore it. Yeah. Ah, okay. So, Mooncloud has a press that runs labels for workout powders. Yeah. Has Dunkin' Donuts flavored ones now? Good idea. Moonflower says, comes back with no context, only the memories of the wild, emotional ride of Siobhan's Mind Invasion article. That would be the sound of me cracking an adult beverage. Cheers. I thought that would go good with my burger. I am hungry now. Says Eli, I'll be back in a minute. Cool. See, vengeance is mine. Ooh, a jackrabbit with a pocket watch and a Stetson on his head. That actually sounds perfect. I don't know if that's something that interests Eli, but I think that's cool. 26 different variations of chocolate, Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles flavors. Okay. I've taken in workout powders. They all taste like chalk. It doesn't matter what you flavor them with. It's flavored chalk. Okay? They keep trying, though. Yeah, hares and rabbits, yeah, are related, but not identical species, it's true. Yes, a snowshoe hare is only white in the winter. That is true. And yes, rabbits live in colonies underground, warrens. Hares are solitary, except in the mating season, and make their nests above ground. Yep. The common European wild rabbit is smallish, brownish, and very tasty. Hey now. We don't talk about... Well, okay, yes. It's fine. We're not in a Game of Tomes event, so it's fine to talk about eating rabbits now. Okay, so everyone's meeting up in Moonflowers for dinner. Yep. Okay. Too many moons. Yep. Veggies and chicken with cheese sauce. Not bad. I didn't think I was hungry enough to eat this whole burger, but I was wrong. I feel the need to make a "that's no moon" joke. Sable showed us an invisible cat. No, I didn't. I wasn't showing the cat. I was just talking about him. Because he was actually in the kitchen. If you were picking up that conversation of me feeding burger to the cat, and that tells me that my webcam mic is very sensitive, because it means you heard a conversation in the kitchen. Garlic rosemary pork chop sounds good too. This is salty. Reaches for Gatorade, says Eli. Maybe no. Grabs water instead. Juice Plus is apparently very tasty and not chalky at all. Sounds good there, Scrub. Barbarossa made something cool. That's cool. Mooncloud says, I have a shirt that is supposed to look like the label from a bottle of Blue Moon, only it has the Death Star on it and it says, that's no moon, pale ale. No, I did not see your proclamation, Barbarossa. I am sorry. Wow, that is really cool. Are these the characters that have been ordered to be captured or killed? An NPC wanted poster. Cool. Ah, the players are the bounty hunters. Okay. Cool. That is really neat. Well, that's one I don't understand. Hmm. Why that was blocked. Must be some racist slur I'm not familiar with, I guess. I'm glad I'm not familiar with all these racist slurs. That's a good thing, perhaps. I'm sorry, Stretch, I will mute my mic. That's cute. Okay. Mooncloud says, be back in a few. Time to get my older son ready for bed. I promised him some reading time with Dad because he's been a super big brother to his baby brother today. That's awesome. Dad says, okay, go toss him in, or toss him in and tie him down, as my dad always says when it's time for us to go to bed. I have the cutest story to tell about that, but I'm going to talk about that after I'm done eating. I'll be just a moment. That's the sprint. Alright, I am back. Let's turn the webcam back on. There we go. Eli says, plot shit. Maybe Alice falls asleep in the schoolhouse, then sees a jackrabbit in a vest and a 10-gallon hat, muttering about being late for a poker game with someone? Sounds great. He should totally call her Miss Alice and speak with drawl. Howdy, Miss Alice. I'm late for a very important date. I think that's great. Yeah, it's hot and sticky here. Yeah, I think that's cool. Totally should. I'm looking at books that I think are similar in many ways to A Few Good Elves. Do you guys think that I should classify... Oh, you know what? Why don't I look at the listings in the... There we go. That's how I do it. Military science fiction or space opera. That's the get back to work growl. Okay. How in the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the top 100 listings for military science fiction on Amazon. And for some unknown reason, The Stand is in this list. Why is The Stand in this list? There is not a single thing that is military about it. Except the lead-in. I mean, that's it. What is it doing in... Get out the way. I like military sci-fi. It very much is military science fiction. It seems to appeal to a military science fiction audience. I know, what the fuck is right? I don't get it at all. Dad says, ooh, the jackrabbit should have spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Yes. Eli's like, I'm so glad I'm not the only one who knows that song. That's right. Howdy, Miss Alice. I'm late for a poker game at the old saloon or something. I like it. Yeah, I know. The Stand? Like, what? Yeah, I don't understand at all. A lot of this other stuff, sure. You know, Halo books. Yeah, absolutely. Picard rogue elements. Sure. You know? Expeditionary Force. You know? Relentless box set. Yeah, sure, you know. Something that looks very much like a sci-fi romance to me called Elite Starfighter, based on the cover. Ender's Game, yeah, of course, you know. Breaker Marine, well, that seems logical. You know, The Stand? What? Old Man's War? Yeah, sure, you know. I'm just wondering, would I have a better chance of making a list? Star Wars Thrawn Alliances? Yeah, okay. Battletech, of course. Oh, did I list Battletech as an influence? I should, okay. Okay. I don't think I did. I freaking well should. Okay, so that's the military science fiction listing. We have subdivisions, Space Fleet and Space Marine. I wonder, eh? It might be better for me to list in that, because you never know. Okay, now what's in the space opera listing? It's fine. Science fiction. Space opera. Dune is number 1. Hyperion, yeah, okay. Hail Mary. Looks like I might have a better chance of a listing in the military science fiction category. Because there's a lot of Dune books and Expeditionary Force books in the space opera. Huh. Yeah, James S.A. Corey. You know, that's the Expanse books, the books that the Expanse is based on. Speaking of which, for those who are interested, I'm finally reading those. I started, this is the first one, Leviathan Wakes. Good book. One thing, it doesn't move at the same glacial pace that the series moves at, so that's cool, right? But I'm finding that they put a lot of stuff in the show that was like, I don't know, didn't need to be there because it wasn't in the book and wasn't necessary. But the stuff in the book makes more sense the way it's presented. So I'm liking it, ultimately. Although I'm a little disappointed that some things aren't in the book. Yeah, Memory Called Empire. Yeah, you know, I should listen to military science fiction instead and put space opera as its secondary category. And then I might actually have a chance of making a series here. See, that's the thing about deciding on categories, right? Sometimes it's not really, on Amazon, it's not entirely about what, yeah, and epic fantasy, I'm sure, is going to be like a whole different thing, dominated by every Lord of the Rings book. Then again, do I even bother listing it in epic fantasy, or that's the question. Last Starfighter, the movie, just popped in my head. Yeah. You know, I actually listed that in my influences. The influences list that I'm making, I did list that. That I think the whole, you know, space combat and figuring it out stuff probably did come from there in part. Is it sci-fi if there's still if there's no planetary migration? Yeah, I agree, Siobhan. Contrary to Margaret Atwood's assertion, science fiction contains a lot more than just spaceships and planetary migration and aliens and stuff. For instance, the whole dystopian thing, ours has been ours forever. You know, Just because you suddenly started calling it something else because it started breaking into mainstream and you didn't like the sci-fi ghetto in the 90s doesn't mean it ain't science fiction and hasn't been for forever. Apocalypse stories, same thing, ours, right? You know, future tech thrillers, nanotech, robots. Science fiction is basically, here's the thing, based on what we currently know about science that doesn't exist yet, but what if, right? And that's science fiction. Yeah, cyberpunk, right? You know, yeah, they're steampunk, science fiction, you know. Sorry, hate to tell you that. Yeah, so don't worry. You're still one of ours, my friend, whether or not you want to be in the ghetto or not. Yeah. Okay, so what am I looking for now? I was looking for the listings in Epic Fantasy to see if I had any bloody hope of making that list, if I put it in that category. If not, then I'll put it in space opera and military science fiction. Yeah, maybe. Why is Dune an epic fantasy? Well, I guess. The Poppy War. Fellowship of the Ring. Spinning Silver. Excellent book. Yeah. Raymond Feist. Game of Thrones. Yeah, maybe not. I'll make this a subcategory. I got no hope of making that list. There's a Fairies and Elves category, though. I should look at that. Shannara? Oh, okay. Jim Butcher? I might be able to compete in this. Wow, people are actually reading Lord Dunsany again? That's amazing. Oh, I see. Neil Gaiman did a lead-in. Forward. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Alright. Let's try. Alright. Yeah, we're going to put it in science fiction military and science fiction space opera. I think. Itchier. Yeah, The Ghost in the Shell is sci-fi, but still just based on Earth. Exactly, Stretch. Fantasine says steampunk came from Jules Verne stuff, and yep, he was writing science fiction. Steampunk is kind of like I would say it originated with Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, right? So, yep, Dune, epic fantasy. Did I hear that right? Maybe nowadays that, you know, psychic powers are automatically considered fantasy or something. Alright, Eli says I need to make a list of characters in Alice and assign them roles for a Western type story. Yep. Order 11 says I was exploring the possibility of space travel using the brain by taking drugs. Aliens in my story travel by taking drugs is what I mean. The Spacing Guild from Dune, says Siobhan. Also, what is that book by Olaf Stapledon? Just a minute. I will find it for you, because that's basically what he did. It was entirely a mental travel thing. Stapledon was a science fiction writer in, like, the 30s is when he got his Star Maker. That's the... You want to check out Star Maker by Olaf Stapledon there. Order 11, I'll put it in the chat. Star Maker... Olaf Stapledon. Because that's basically what happens there. I mean, it's written in a difficult to follow, sometimes sort of 1930s style, but basically his character, like, projects his consciousness out into the universe and meets a variety of different species that are weird and wild and strange throughout the universe. But it's entirely a mental journey. Physically, he never leaves Earth. It's really interesting. So... if you're into that kind of thing. World builder types, it's very Tolkien-esque in its, like, completion. It's amazing. World builder types should read it. If you're into world building for world building's sake, check it out. Is it a plot, though? Thinly. It's more about the creatures and situations. Fantasine agrees with me, just brain blanked on H.G. Wells. Yeah, that makes sense. If you could make a dark gothic version of any fairy tale, what would it be? Stretch, most fairy tales in their original writing are pretty dark anyway. Like, and gothic. And that's the Sprint Gang. Eli says Rapunzel. It's already dark and not usually told that way in modern adaptations. Dark Gothic, Hansel and Gretel. Hey, we're talking about cannibalism in Hansel and Gretel. You don't have to go far to make that dark. Okay? See, exactly, I agree with Siobhan. The originals are already in that category. Yeah, go read the Brothers Grimm. Exactly. I wanted it to not be a thing and an original idea, but nothing is original, I guess, says Order 11. Nope, not a thing. There is nothing that has not been done in some form, but you can do it your way, right? I think that it never hurts to read more stuff in your, especially in your field that you're choosing to write in, because then you've got more of more stuff churning around in the stew, so that when it comes out as whatever you're writing, it is more original because it blends a bunch of things. Oh god, yeah. Hans Christian Andersen's version of Little Mermaid. Heart-wrenching. Don't inflict that on little kids, man. Don't. That's not for little kids, that story. Neither is The Little Match Girl, by the way. Don't read that one either. Horrible, horrible stuff. A lot of fairy tales are horrible in their original version. Yeah. Which is, I guess, why we have to insist on these bowdlerized versions. Just what I was typing, says Siobhan. Yeah, that was something, eh? Oscar Wilde's The Nightingale and the Rose. Yeah. Yeah, fairy tales were originally told as sort of moral tales, and they were not really intended to be like, you know, they're not the Disney versions, guys. That's new. Some people know. Eli's like, oh my god, the little match girl. Yep. Fantasine says, yes, oh man, I have a little match girl in my novel just to rewrite that story. Yeah, it's... yeah. I think I was 8 or 7 when I read The Little Match Girl. 7. Scarred for life, man. Yeah. Rowan says, the original Little Mermaid movie made me cry at the end. I was disappointed with the Disney remake. Yeah. I love the film remake of Red Riding Hood with Amanda Seyfried as the star. That was done very well. Alright, let's get back to work, Realm. Alright. All right, I think that will do. Well, there's another one I could consider, I guess. All right, check the chat here because I've been concentrating for, a fair bit, actually. I'm going to turn my brain off, giving myself a headache. Good idea. All right, see you later, Eli. Fantasine says Grimms were writing stories they were told by the people way out in remote parts of Germany and later other countries, so they were handed down dark legends to those people and not fluffy fun like Disney shows them. Exactly. Space travel via spiritual network, has that been done? Yes, that's what I'm kind of telling you there, Order 11. Everything's been done, man, right? In a way, that's how space travel works with the guild navigators in Dune, and it's also very much how it works in Olaf Stapledon's Star Maker, right? So, but I mean, look, the only person I know who's a bigger science fiction nerd than me is Jamie, my partner. And so I know a lot about science fiction. I have read a lot of really obscure shit, right? Really old stuff. There's nothing that is brand new. Like, look, the fact is the human experience isn't new, you know? I think you're working too hard trying to come up with something new, right? Nothing is new. Do it your way. That's all. Little Red Riding Hood always makes me need to listen to the song by Sam Sham and the Pharaohs, says Rowan. Hey, Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, that one? Yes. Yeah, not too sure Order 11, says Siobhan, but if you think about witches and astral travel. Fantasine says, yeah, I'm trying hard to recall it, but I'm sure my dad had a book years back that had it in it. It sort of happens that way in, I mean, not exactly the same, but in Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter novels. That's sort of how he gets to Mars. So that's another example, right? There's, Fantasine saying there's always Spelljammer. That was always about magic to travel the stars, which is basically what I'm doing, right? For my Toysoldier Saga series, it's not even basically, it's exactly what I'm doing. They're using, it's kind of a weird, it's science fantasy, right? It's a blend of magic using scientific principles, sorta, right? It does use astrophysics, right? But yeah, and I sort of got that from Andre Norton, right? So that's another thing. Witch World, yeah, it's not new, right? But yeah, astral projection, space travel, you bet. And why not? It's cool. If you read a whole bunch of stuff, okay. All right. I'm going to get out my soapboxes with my hot takes. Okay? Here we go. Okay. So, everybody... Philip K. Dick has a huge audience in science fiction. People think he's a genius. I don't think he's a genius. I think he's interesting. I think he's talented. Right? I'm not going to say he's not, because he is. He can write an engaging story. He can combine a bunch of ideas in a different way, but he's not original. He basically spent his entire career, with the exception of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, rewriting Alfred Bester's 2 science fiction novels and combining them in different ways. Right? Alfred Bester is mostly known for his short fiction. Like, he did a lot more short fiction, but he wrote 2 novels. That was it, but they were huge contributions to science fiction, and if you read them, you will recognize their plots and their aspects done and redone and done again in so much, right? So many different writers' work, right? Including my own. No, no exception, right? Because, of course, I was influenced by those who were influenced. And then I read his stuff, and I went, wow. Okay, so the two novels are called Demolition Man, right? And The Stars Are My Destination. Okay, and those novels basically inspired everything that Philip K. Dick ever wrote, with the exception of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and the Three Stigmata of Eldrick Palmer, or whatever, right? But the thing is, I read the first book of those two. I'm not going to read the second. There are two books on the Eldrick Palmer, right? Or wait, no, Valis, pardon me, there's Valis Part 1, Valis Part 2, that's what I was reading, Valis, okay, I read that, I'm not reading the second part, because I read the first part, sort of semi-autobiographical, it's supposed to be where he kind of writes himself in as a character, and they have all these weird spiritual experiences in California in the 70s, right, and I'm like, okay, so I ran a metaphysical store for 7 years, okay? And before that, I worked in metaphysical stores for, I don't know, 5 years or so when I was, a young woman. I volunteered at a local spiritualist society, and I worked there, did tarot readings, and managed the store. And, okay, you know how when you go into a metaphysical store, there's that bookcase at the back, and it's usually kind of dusty, and it's got all the fucking crazy shit about how everybody came from the Pleiades, and, if we all take the right spiritual mushrooms, we're all going back to the Pleiades, and, the secret meanings of this and that happened that are either, okay, that stuff, right, that's all in the back there, that is what Philip K. Dick wrote in Valis. That's all it was. It's all it was, right? Because I've read enough of those to recognize them. It was no different in any way from that stuff, right? The stuff about how Atlantis is calling back its genetic descendants to save the world from itself through the radiant power of love, and if we all smoke enough pot, we'll all ascend to the next level of vibration. That is what he wrote, okay? That's all it is. It's not a science fiction novel. It's a fucking lunatic writing about being a fucking lunatic, okay? That's it. That's all it was, right? If he were anybody else, it would have been relegated to that back shelf, right? But because he was Philip K. Dick, everyone's like, oh, he's such a genius, all the hidden metaphors and the brilliant... The Emperor has no clothes, okay? No clothes. But, why this big long tangent? Because space travel through spirituality is their bread and butter. That's what those books are all about. They're about people having visions of space travel. Now, I'm not saying that can't be a valid subject for a science fiction novel treated seriously, and that's to get back to work growl, by the way, because it certainly can, right? Philip K. Dick wrote one of the most successful books in science fiction, doing exactly that. But it's definitely not new. Okay, right? It could be very cool. I don't want to discourage you, right? I don't want to discourage you. It's a good idea. It's certainly not common. People aren't writing about it now. People haven't written about it seriously since the 70s, right? So it's definitely time for it to make a comeback. But yeah, I mean, people came up with this idea when spiritualism was popular in the early 20th century. That's what Olaf Stapledon was influenced by when he was writing about it. It's kind of a standard practice in those who study the occult. I'm a Wiccan, I'll remind you, I study the occult, right? Okay, and that's kind of a standard practice, meditation, that we go travel spiritually to other worlds. By the way, if you want my opinion about whether or not that's real and why I say this is fucking crazy and this isn't, jury's out, is what I mean, right? Whether or not people actually travel to other worlds through spiritual power, who can say, right? Does it have any effect on the physical world around us? Only in the way you relate to it, right? So it's valuable. It can be valuable psychologically, and it's really interesting. Is it actual magic? Can't prove it. Can't disprove it either, right? So, yeah. Oh, Daz is off to bed. Did all my moderators leave while I was on my speech there, my soapbox? I apologize. Yeah. You're right, that's exactly what a few good elves is magic to travel the spaceways. There are magical engines that use the magical power generated by a spellcaster, right, to access the Erts, which are currents of time, space, gravity, and magic. By the way, these things actually exist in a form in astrophysics. I have, so this is the place where it starts to blur into science fiction from fantasy, but basically it's a sailing ship, right? Like Spelljammer, it's a sailing ship, and it just sails at, like, using gravity currents, which, there's a book called Nova by Samuel R. Delaney that was one of those new wave science fiction books from the late 70s, early 80s, that talks about using these gravity currents to sail their spaceship, and that kind of gave me the idea of how it would work, right? So, but yeah, but it's like, it's a wooden ship with sails and, that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of fun. And it's got kind of a Faraday cage around it that's generated by the magical engine, which I call a spin dizzy, if it doesn't come from a natural living ship, right? And that too is Stolen Whole Hawk. I took that from a book called Cities in Flight by a guy named James Blish, which is another classic science fiction novel, which basically worked like that, right? And Cities in Flight, people were animating cities and sending them out into space through the use of this spin dizzy technology, which both enabled you to travel in space with, faster than light speed, right? And it also created a Faraday cage of a sort around the city so that you didn't have to have, like, a solid dome to protect it from the vacuum. It was just protected by the spin dizzy, right? And I just stole that. There you go. Right? So, yeah. Nothing's new. But you've never seen all that combined in that way before. That's new, right? Nobody's done that. Spelljammer has not done that. Spelljammer and Treasure Planet are the closest things that resemble what I'm doing, but it's not exactly the same. It's very different in terms of how the technology and arcanology works. And that's what I mean about nothing's new, but do it your way, right? Do it your way. Combine it in your way. Fantasine says, I suggest being less concerned with has it been done before and go more for this is my personal touch to make this version unlike how people have done it before. Exactly, right? Give it a twist that makes it unique to your setting. Okay, good night, Daz. Sleep well. And good night, Siobhan. I'll hopefully see you later. And Rowan's off to talk to Chris. That's fair enough. I was just wondering if the viewer count went down. Not really, so other people has to come in. So, okay, anyway, Mooncloud's back. What happened is Ridley Scott made an amazing movie out of his best book, and this cemented his place. Yeah. 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 Right? Exactly. Talking about Philip K. Dick, for sure. And honestly, in many ways, the book is very different from the movie, and I'm not sure that the movie isn't better, right? Because it kind of takes half the story. Like, there's subplots that kind of weave into each other that are going on in Androids, right? And they're not necessarily present in Blade Runner. And I don't think that, I think the story's better for it because it's not as distracting. Granted, everything that is cool in Blade Runner, okay, to be fair, right? I don't like Philip K. Dick, but I'm fair, right? And to be fair, everything that is good in Blade Runner existed in Do Androids Exist, or Dream of Electric Sheep, right? It's all present. It's just I find it a bit more confusing because it had other things going on, right? So that they didn't quite get into. Yeah. So, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas in SoCal with no drugs. And then Mooncloud says, okay, with drugs then. Yeah, I mean, drugs are part of it. Okay. Again, being fair, right? Okay. Philip K. Dick had got into a bunch of drugs at one point in his life, right? It was the 70s, you know, and had to get off of them, and he had some he kind of went off the rails when he did. He had a breakdown, right? A psychotic break where he experienced reality in a different way. So when Philip K. Dick writes about that stuff, or wrote about that stuff in his books and stories, it's really good because he knows, right? So I think he gets more credit than he deserves. He's a very talented writer. He definitely deserves his place in the science fiction, the legends, right? But he's not, because it's not new, you know? And everyone's like, oh, he's so original. He's not like anything else. Nobody's ever done anything like this before. And I'm like, you don't know the source material, do you? Right? It's kind of like Margaret Atwood. A lot of people who don't read science fiction read Margaret Atwood, right? And okay, and again, Margaret Atwood is an amazing writer. I wish I was as good as she was. I'm very proud of the fact that she's a Canadian. You know, she's great. She's great. She's brilliant. She can tell a story like nobody else. But she has the audacity to not cite her sources, and I know for a fact where she gets all the stuff that she writes about. She claims it's not science fiction, but it most certainly is and always has been, right? She just doesn't want to be, she wants to be taken seriously and be considered a literary writer, right? And this is the thing that pisses me off about Philip K. Dick, too, because he also is often classified as like this literary writer, you know, and bullshit, okay? They're both science fiction writers. I've read everything that their stuff was based on, right? The Mad Adam trilogy is a combination of The Stand combined with, earlier than that. Earth Abides combined with The Island of Dr. Moreau, okay? That's it. That's all it is. It's good. You should read it. It's a really well-told story. Is it new? No, right? Yeah, I could go on, okay? I could go on, but, and that's, the reason why it pisses me off is because people go, oh, well, you know, science fiction writers, you know, they're not real writers, and I'm like, you fuckers are just stealing our ideas and claiming that you made it up, right? And, yeah, anyway, okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. I want to tell an apotheosis story, says Order 11. Okay. That's cool. Have you read Dune? Right? Because if you haven't, you should. Just a man but becomes a god. Read Dune if you haven't read it. Right? Because that way, why I say that is because then you'll know what other people have done with the material. You haven't read Dune. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you must read it because it is the defining work in the genre about that kind of story, because that's what it is, right? It's an apotheosis story, right? So if you read it, you know how to make it different, right? Like, yeah. Yes, and Dune is also a study as in what happens when religion becomes entwined with government. Yeah, Dune is great. I got the idea from Captain America. Oh, the throwaway line from Red Skull, right? We are not men, we are gods. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I would read this shit. I want to tell you that. This is my thing, right? I love a well-told story like that, right? So I want you to write it. I will read it. I totally would, because that can be really interesting. Yeah, and then my question is to you, tone could have a big influence on what you're doing here and how it relates to things, right? Like what is the tone you're going for, right? In Dune, Herbert was going for basically a critique, right, of looking to gods to answer our own human questions, and that maybe that wasn't the best idea, right? And it was really, it was really interesting. It also explored genetics and climate change and a bunch of other things, but I think that was ultimately his point. Yeah, I took a lot of ideas from comics and mythology. Yeah, sure. And so did Herbert, I'm sure, right? Ultimately, we're all just telling the old myths again, right? All the stories we tell, they're all myths. They're all, and comics, of course, is inspired by mythology, and mythology is inspired by older mythology, right? It's a foment, and it's really interesting. I would totally read that book. So that, an apotheosis story from the point of view of a science fiction would be really interesting. The story is that humans are weak in my story, and I want to tell a story of a man becoming a god sort of inspired by Captain America and Jesus. Okay. And then what? Right? Is it just about him becoming a god? And what effect does that have on humanity? Does he start a new religion? Does he save the world? Because there can be darker or more hopeful tones, right? Fantasy says, I picked up The Secrets of Story by Matt Bird the other day and have been listening to it. He starts out talking about his expensive college degree stuff and then notes how it's not worth a damn when he started writing for a living because the teachers always praised students to be literary writers and never gave them real-world stuff to do that would prepare them for a writing life outside academics. Yeah. Order 11 says it's him taking up a mantle of responsibility of sorts. Oh, okay. Cool. That's cool. So, okay, so influence of comic books and mythology then, right? Great power equals great responsibility, obviously. That's great. That's awesome. Definitely read Dune. That's my advice to you. Because then you could take the darker aspects of Dune and make them lighter. Because I think that's sort of the interesting thing about Dune is that, and that's the sprint, by the way. Paul Atreides, who is the character who basically has the apotheosis, finds that often he's the creature of fate as well, right? And he's as much influenced by what is expected as he is by what he chooses. And sometimes all he can choose is to deflect. It's very interesting. Hello, the Calm Scribe. Welcome, and thank you very much for the read. Nice to see you. I'm rarely here at this hour, so I rarely get the opportunity to see you. It's nice. I've just been expounding on the history of science fiction and the fact that there's nothing new under the sun as far as the plot line goes, but you can do it in your way. Been on a soapbox, I think, for about half an hour or more now, which is a terrible waste of my time, but it was a really interesting conversation, I guess. Order 11 is writing an interesting story about, like an apotheosis story in science fiction, so I was telling him about stuff that influences, right? Order 11 says, the original god in my story dies and becomes a resource which spreads a parasite. Ooh. That's another part of the plot. It's my way of creating zombies. That's cool. Yeah, it's a fun convo, though, says the comm scribe. But yeah, it sure is. It sure is. I like talking, writing with other people. Okay, alright, fair enough. Yes, must take care of the baby. That is totally cool. Thank you, and I don't mind that you raid and ran. You had a great day. That you raided and ran. You have a great day. Yeah. Alright. Wow. Okay, I realize I've only got half an hour left in the stream, but I really must take a bio break. So I'm going to go and do that, and I will be right back, gang. I'll see you in a minute. Good night, Stretch. I just got back to the camera here, so I'm trying to call in my cats. I'll be just a moment, but yeah. Sleep well. Aw. Coffee canceled tonight. Damn, what am I gonna watch? Let's see here. Yeah, well, I was gonna raid coffee, so. Family does suck. Yeah, I know coffee's had a rough couple of days. Oh, I haven't changed my screen over yet, have I? No. Sorry, I'm concentrating now. Alright, back to the sprint screen. Well, heck, I don't know what to do here with, do you guys want me to turn this to a sprint lobby in 10 minutes? Or is there someone else coming on that we can raid? Yes, please, to the sprint lobby? I could do that. And that's the sprint. Ah, Moonflower says, sorry, but I didn't know about coffee's rough time and drank some caffeinated stuff, so I would be focused enough for coffee streams, so I'm kind of raring to go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I sure can. I can just turn it on to a sprint lobby. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to be working away in the background myself, so... Now this time, when I do my Amazon ads, I know exactly who to target. I have a very clear idea of what I'm doing with this. Alright, so the next sprint is about to start here. So I think at this time I'm going to flip over to a sprint lobby. I'll still be lurking and I may be on the mic, but I'm probably not going to be on the screen. And if I don't get a chance to talk to you before we go off the air, then thank you very much for joining me today. I'm sorry that things were so late today, but I hope that people enjoyed the later stream. It's not a big deal, Fantasine. I can... If you want to stream, that's cool, right? And, you know, that works. But if not, you know, I can just put the sprint lobby on. It's just that I really kind of want to focus on what I'm doing at this point. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right in front of the same computer. I've got stuff that has to get done. It's just that I'm aware that I'm getting distracted in the stream because I'm chatting and, you know, I have to have this done tonight, right? So that's why I'm suggesting the sprint lobby, right? And I'm happy to do that if people want. If you would prefer to stream, that's fine, right? And either way, it's all good. I don't have to go. So... Alright, theoretically, Aaron will be on tomorrow for Ask an Old GM. That starts at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, Brain 9 p.m. UTC, 10 p.m. in the UK. Switch it around. Sorry, my brain is a little slow right now. I'm very tired. But I still have to stay up and get this done, so... part of the reason I'm going to be off camera is going to be drinking a lot of coffee, you know? And kind of working hyped, right? So, yeah. Let's see, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time on Saturday morning for the Aussies in the crowd, right? Aaron should be back on Saturday for Right with Aaron. Oh, hey, Esong. Oh, shoot. Esong, I was just about to switch over to a sprint lobby, but now you're here, so I'm not sure that I want to do that right away. Aw. How are you? Yay, there's a face. But there's secret book stuff going on. Yes. Yeah, okay. I'll totally do that. I could be in and out too, right? Don't want us to see the coffee IV drip, huh? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much is what it's gonna be. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what. How about I put it... Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, I like seeing your face too, Esong. And I know you like seeing my face, so... It's cool. I'm just... yeah, I was about to... I was doing the whole... I'm about to switch over to a sprint lobby, so I was telling people about... Eli made that up. That was Eli's idea. I stole it whole hawk with the good spelling because I liked it and thought it was hilarious. And nothing, it's just that I'm doing stuff with, like, I'm logged into Amazon, I'm setting up my pre-order, it involves passwords, and, you know, it's inside my account, so I'm not showing it on screen, but that's what I'm working on, right? And so it's, just that I can't show it. It's not that I'm, you know, secret about talking about it, so, I don't know, we looked at some trailers today in an area. There's a bunch of trailers for sale in a trailer park, and yeah, super secret book stuff then. That's right. That's right. No, it's just that I'm not showing what's on my Chrome, right? Because I'm, doing that. But yeah, I don't know. The big appointments are tomorrow, right? In the morning comes the can we get a mortgage appointment, and in the afternoon comes the appointment for the best prospect of house hunting I've seen yet. Evening, like 5:20 my time, right? And we're supposed to phone a woman back about a place. She has a house that's up for rent. It's in Lake Country. It's 5 bedrooms. It's really affordable. It's still on the market. It's a month-to-month rental, so it's perfect for, if we're going to try to buy, right? Because we may want to move after a month or two, right? And they're trying to sell their house. So it's like, but somebody in the family died the week that we phoned, and she had a surgery, so we have to phone her back because she just wasn't up to fucking dealing with it, and I don't blame her. So all of that stuff. Will there be a Diane Move stream? I can't imagine how I would do that without eating all of my data for the next year. What does the best prospect look like? Honestly, they're all older houses. I don't really like the 5-bedroom house because it's dark, right? It's really dark. The other prospect is and this is rental, right? And I don't really want to go there either. Like, a whole bunch of things will be found out tomorrow that will lead to, we'll close certain decision trees, right? Is basically what's happening. But the other place is a 1-year lease, and it's a 3-bedroom half duplex in Coldstream, which is, it's nice enough. It's just a little 1970s, early 80s style duplex. They're both in that, level. Yeah, Diane Move's stream would be a sprint lobby with a backdrop of a lot of cardboard boxes. Shout out to eSongbird for being eSongbird. You bet. Hail Hydrate. Random sound effects of swearing and broken glass as opposed to sweating. I mean, the sweating would be there. It's just it wouldn't be any sound effects. Swearing and broken glass, almost certainly. Yeah. And Sable's asthmatic wheezing as she deals with all the dust in the air. Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah. I thought I might, once I have moved, try to figure out how to set up my phone, or at the very least I would use my phone to film and kind of show you around the new place, depending too. 10 trash bags, that's all? Barbarossa says, so how much stuff are you throwing out yet? My dad and I threw out about 10 trash bags worth of stuff when we moved. So far, an entire steel bin, and I'm sure we're going to have another steel bin, at least, right? And we haven't even touched the old freezer, Aaron's wheelchair, 2 dead lawnmowers, my basement. Yeah. My dad and I threw out 10 garbage bags of just his garage when we were moving. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to have to go. And the thing is, I don't even know what all has to go. I have to know where we're moving before I know what I have to get rid of. Right? Because if I'm in a big enough space, I'm going to need my bookshelves for my books. If I'm not in a big enough space, the books are going to live in boxes in the storage room. Right? Oh, the basement is intimidating. The basement is, okay, my basement is a half underground basement, half exposed, that you enter through the outside. You cannot keep the mice out of it. There's no way to do it. We finally gave up and basically left everything down there to rot. And I've been meaning to clean it out for years. But, okay, so I meant to clean it out, and then COVID happened. Right? And I was going to get people to come and help, so that wasn't working. And then I'm like, fuck it, we're going to do it anyway. And then, you know, it rained for 3 months. And then, you know, like, it's just been one thing after another that have prevented it, you know, have been preventing it from working, right? Yeah, that's the worst part, not knowing what you have to work with. I have a whole box of, like, polished stones that I've packed. But if I'm going to, like, a little apartment, or I don't have room for that, so I'm gonna have to throw it out, right? Yeah, the basement is a lost cause. Burn it and start over. Yeah, the universe is saying to leave it. Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose it matters. I'm pretty sure, like I said, that the landlord cannot rent this place again, obviously, and they're gonna bulldoze it and sell it, which is what I would do. So maybe I should just leave all the junk and not even care. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw it out so they don't have to deal with it, right? Because it's not their crap. So. But yeah, you're right. I probably should just not worry about it. I already intended to throw out almost everything in it anyway. Okay, gang, I'm gonna go to a sprint lobby now. And, but I may be in and out yet. So. E-Song says, on a completely unrelated note, I just found out that the Rocky Horror Traveling Cast accidentally ordered 416 Frankfurter sausages instead of Frankenfurter wigs, so at least you haven't made that mistake. Wow. Why would you need 416 wigs? That's bizarre. Hollywood makes no sense to me. The waist is amazing. I don't get it. It's stunning. That was my question too. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, guys, I'm switching over to the sprint lobby, and yeah, it's the UK traveling cast, so blame the Brits. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a part of the reason why I'm going to sprint lobby too is because I would like to get out of my bra and put up my hair and maybe, you know, sit here moldering and thinking about getting ready for bed. So, yeah. I just want to be my PJs, okay? That's what I want. So, I'm tired, and I want to be in my PJs as I'm working, so I can go right to hell to bed when I'm done. Thanks for keeping your face up a bit longer. I enjoyed seeing you and getting a life update. Yeah, bras are overrated. I support your decisions. Fair enough, fair enough. PJs are totally valid, but my PJs consist of a long shirt, you know? So it's not really appropriate to be on stream with it, unfortunately. Right, so yeah. Anyway, no, this is cool, and I'm obviously, again, allowing myself to get distracted because accompanying my friends. I will let you guys know more when I know more tomorrow about things, because, like I said, tomorrow is the big, you know, a whole bunch of things are happening at once, so the decision tree will be able to be made. Tomorrow is the day we're supposed to be being officially sent the notice about the house by the landlord too. So we'll actually be able to theoretically talk to them as well and maybe get another month. I don't know, right? So tomorrow closes a bunch of things and then I know what the hell I'm doing. E-Song says, this is why I haven't streamed the last couple of days. Getting my classroom set up and everything has been super stressful, and the bra comes off as soon as I get home, 100%. Fantasine says, one of us, one of us, one of us. PJs and no bra crowd. Yep. Thanks, E-Song, that's helpful. She says, I'll be sending you lots of positive vibes. I trust the universe's plan for you. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine too. I just hate everything being up in the air. Right? But like I said, tomorrow we'll know for sure what the hell is going on. If the boys can get a mortgage, and thank you, by the way, for sending, by the way, that's the sprint. The positive vibes coming my way from Alaska. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Fantasy. That's helpful. Yeah, if we can get a mortgage, then we know we're buying. If we're buying, then that means that we're finding a temporary place, right? So that is basically what I need to know. E-Song says, as a singing teacher trying to figure out how I'm teaching during COVID, I completely understand the frustration mid-process. Yeah. How do you do that over Zoom, I wonder? Like, I can see how it could be done, but you'd have to have a much smaller class size than would be typical. I mean, you can't even get everybody all singing and beating blocks together because the lag, right? I don't know. I guess get people to individually take turns, right? You tell them we're starting here, and you give them their starting note, and you go and you just hope that they're doing it while their streams are off. Yeah, I guess. Can you do it over Discord? That might work better. There's a little less audio lag. You could get people... You could get that stage room going, right? Yeah, I didn't have this problem because my school never went remote, so they just canceled my choir classes. But I found out yesterday that we are allowed to sing inside this year, which is presenting a whole nother slew of socially distant concerns. But I can figure those out probably. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't even know. I wish I had some good ideas, but I'm sure you've thought of anything I think of. Okay, we're going to Sprint Lobby now. Before we do, I am going to play my book ad one more time. I may be on and off the mic, but I will not be back on the picture, so... Because I'm getting into my damn PJs because I feel like it. But it has been a pleasure working with you guys tonight. I will be back on Sunday for Sable's World Forge at noon Pacific, my usual time. And here's my book trailer again, and then we'll start the Sprint Lobby, and hopefully I will see you guys on Sunday, if not before. Aaron will be back tomorrow.